welcome to our Kids Yoga live stream this afternoon. I'm Jolynn and this is Keira. She is the only child good-humored enough to be down here with me and filming a class. And today we're talking about springtime, and it's a little chilly out today, but the weather is starting to turn and we're getting some things popping up out of the earth and blossoms on the trees and the bushes. And we're super excited about spring coming and being able to get outside a little bit more than we have so far, right? Right. All right, so today we have a little journey through spring for you. And I just had my 3 kids hurriedly coloring pages with me upstairs, which was kind of awesome to have all 3 kids swarm on these 10 coloring pages. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? We don't get to color together nearly often enough, so this was pretty awesome. So today we're going to start, as we always do, with a little bit of breath, and then we're going to do some journey through spring, some spring poses, and we'll do our constructive rest, our shavasana at the end, and we'll be done. And parents, if you would like me to send you the file with the coloring pages and the practice in it so your kids can do this at home later on today, email me at namasteyogastudio.net. No, Namaste Yoga Studio at Gmail. Namaste Yoga Ohio at gmail.com. Goodness gracious, I'm all mixed up today. So we're going to start today with a little bit of breath. And if you tuned in last week, we did this breath with the Hoberman sphere. So we're going to do that again to start today, just because it's a nice calming breath. So Keira's going to take a couple of the diamonds on here, and so am I. And as the ball gets bigger, we'll inhale together. That means you're taking breath in through your nose and out through your nose. The first breath we'll do in through the nose, out through the mouth, just to get rid of all the yuck from today and whatever you've been hanging on to. So let's start with an inhale. And as we exhale, take that out of the mouth, sigh it out. Oh. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through your nose. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your nose. And one more time, inhale through your nose. And exhale through your nose. That was awesome. Thank you. We're going to start with a little song today, and the lyrics go like this. Rub your hands, sit up tall, take a deep breath, and then we'll chant the sound of Om together. You ready? You ready? Rub your hands, sit up tall, take a deep breath. Let's do that one more time, a little bit faster. Rub your hands, sit up tall, take a deep breath. Awesome. You can find that song on Karma Kids Yoga if you have Spotify or Pandora or whatever you have. Check that out. There's some great yoga songs and things to guide your kids in yoga on that Karma Kids Yoga CD. So we're going to start today with another breath called bee breath. And as you would think, you're going to make a buzzing sound like a bee. And it's actually called Brahmari breath. There's a breath that we do in yoga called Brahmari breath. But today we're going to make it a little sillier because it's kids yoga and we like to be silly. It's good to be silly every once in a while. So as you inhale, you're going to take that big breath in through your nose and buzz it out. How long can you hold your buzz? Let's do it one more time. Take a breath in. That's called Bramari breath, B breath, and it's the kid version. We're going to sit back to back and put our spines together, and we're going to do that breath one more time and see if we can feel the vibrations from the other person's breath. So if you have somebody at home that you can sit back to back with, or you want to do this later with a parent when they're done working, do this with your parent later. So we're going to sit back to back and sit with our spines nice and tall, our heads together, rolling our shoulders back so we can really feel the back of the heart in the other person. Take a deep breath in. Could you feel it?
Yes.
I could feel it too. Yeah, that's a big buzz. All right, awesome. So we're going to get started with our journey through spring. And it consists of 10 different poses. And again, if you guys want these poses and the coloring pages, I can happily send you the file for these, or you can find your own online. So the poses that we'll be doing today start with sun pose and end with relaxing in the park pose. So let's get started. So we'll begin today with our first pose. Who colored this one? I colored this one, didn't I? And the first pose is sun breath. So everybody stand up. We'll stand at the back of the mat so you can see us. And we'll step apart a little bit. You stand forward a little bit more. So as you inhale, I want you to make a big circle like the sun. And as you exhale, bring your hands down into your heart. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up, stretch up. And exhale, bring your hands back down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, big stretch up. And exhale, hands to your heart. We're going to do that again, but this time coming all the way up onto the tiptoes like you could really reach the sun. Inhale, stretch all the way up onto your tippy toes. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, stretch all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart, and do that one more time. Inhale, big sun breath. Wah! Exhale, hands to heart center. Nice job, little yogis. Our next pose is, and some of you might know this pose, our next pose is, what is this pose?
Tree pose.
Tree pose. So the next pose that we're doing is a tree pose. Here, we'll just line these up right here. All right, and tree pose, we've got 3 levels of a tree, right? So this is the first one. You can kickstand your right foot on your right heel. Keira's going to go to the next one. Where's the next level of tree? Yep, up on your calf. And the final level of your tree pose might be all the way up here at your inner upper thigh. So there's your final version of tree. You can grow your branches. Maybe it's really windy in your forest today and you want to wave your tree branches around a little bit, finding a little wiggle to your tree. And let's try the other side. So bring the other foot down. Again, you can kickstand heel to the ankle, foot to the calf, or foot all the way up to your inner upper thigh. And you can be a really super still tree, like it's quiet in your forest, or maybe it's super windy. And your tree branches are blowing in the wind. See if you can keep your balance as your tree branches blow in the wind. Nice job, yogis. All right, our next pose is called bird pose. And bird pose is actually warrior 3. So you're going to imagine that you're flying like a bird through that forest that we just came out of. So extend your arms and flap your wings a little bit. Nice job. And you can extend that left leg back and behind you, or your right leg, whatever leg you want to start with. Look down to the floor. If you need to keep your arms steady, just extend your arms out. Here, clasp my hand and my wrist and extend your left leg back. Our right leg, your left leg. All right, we'll do the right leg. All right. So you can do this in a long line as a family and see if you can hold each other up rather than pulling each other down, right? Don't pull me down. I've got the table. I'm going to hold on to the table. And then come back up. Let's switch sides and do the other side. So extend the other leg back. Take your gaze down to the earth like you're flying high above that forest of trees that we just came from. Stop wiggling! And then bring it on back to center. There's bird pose. I've been waking up to the birds in the morning. Do you hear the birds in the morning when you're waking up? I've got the back of the house.
Schoolwork.
That's true. All right, our next pose is a rain cloud. And I actually brought the rain stick home today so that you guys could kind of hear the sound of the rain. So let's see if you can hear this. And sometimes we use this for breath in class. We're going to use this Thursday. We're doing a rainforest practice at 2 p.m. So we'll use this for breath on Tuesday. But just imagining the sound of the rain is kind of fun. And our rain pose goes like this. We'll inhale the arms up to the clouds and sprinkle the rain all the way down to the ground, taking a forward fold. Inhale, stretch the arms all the way up. And exhale, sprinkle your hands down. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Wiggle those fingers. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands down. Hang out right here and just shake your head out no and shake your head yes. And shake it no and shake it yes. And then we're going to come down to kneel. Our next pose is called rainbow pose. Campbell colored this one. Nice, right? The next pose is called rainbow pose. And in yoga, this pose is actually gate pose. So if mom or dad are doing this, they'll recognize this being gate pose. So we're coming on to hands and knees, and we'll extend the right leg out to the right. I'm going to come slightly behind Keira so we're not hitting each other. Reaching the arms up, we're going to arc our arms like a rainbow. So bringing your arms over to the right and come back to center and bring your arms over to the left and come back to center and to your right. Whoop, and back to center and to your left. So we're really starting to stretch the sides of our body, stretching through the ribs and the armpits all the way out to the fingertips. One more time to each side. And stretch to the other side. Now this time we're going to bring that right hand down to your leg. Left arm stretches all the way over to the right. Pull your belly in, really stretch those left ribs a little bit. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Rise up. We're going to do the other side. So come on down to table and take your left leg out to the left. And we're coming on back up. You can tuck that right in front of me. Reach your arms up, and we're waving those arms in an arc again. So reaching to the left, and up to center and to the right, and up to center and to the left, and center and right, and center. Take your left hand down to your leg. Stretch your right arm to the left. And again, really feel that stretch through your right ribs. Pull your belly in and get a little bit longer. Nice. Take a deep breath in here. You're going to do a side split there, girlfriend. Inhale, rise back up, and exhale, hands down, and tuck yourself right back in. Nice job. So we've made it through our sun breath, our tree pose, our bird pose, rain cloud, and rainbow. What could be next? Let's see what's next. You color this one. Now we're going to plant our garden. Now that we have the rain and the rainbow, let's see what's growing. So everybody come down into a little tiptoe squat right here and curl yourself up teeny tiny. And imagine that you're digging little holes in the soil to plant your seeds. And just place those little seeds in the tiny little holes in the soil. And now let's see what's going to grow out of those tiny little seeds. So bring yourself into a teeny tiny ball here. And as you inhale, we'll grow that seed, reaching the branches all the way up. Bloom those branches out, and we're coming back down into our teeny tiny tiptoe squat. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, we're coming all the way up to stretch up like the seed, reaching to the sun. And exhale, come back down into that tiptoe squat. Do that 1 more time. Reach your tiny little seedling up to the sky. And exhale, bring it all the way back down to that teeny tiny tiptoe squat. And coming back onto the knees. Let's see what's next on our spring journey today. So we have 2 poses, and they're both bugs. The first one is caterpillar pose, And the next one is butterfly pose. So coming down onto your belly for this one. Oop, I'm gonna have to move my pictures here. Coming down onto your belly, you can either stretch your arms straight forward or you can bring your hands next to your hips. And we're gonna wiggle a little bit. So lift up your little caterpillar head and let's peek our little caterpillar head around, see what's going on. What's going on, caterpillar? And then start to wiggle a little bit to the left and to the right. And just wiggle your caterpillar. Maybe you're gonna lift your caterpillar legs away from the floor and just wiggle a little bit. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and just rock a little bit from side to side. And then hold, peek your caterpillar head around again. Maybe look up a little, maybe look down a little. And bring your caterpillar head down to rest. Bend your knees and wiper your feet from side to side. And we're going to pop back up for our second bug pose, and it's butterfly pose. So bringing the soles of the feet together, knees apart. We're going to flap those butterfly wings. I'm going to come slightly behind you. So if you see the drawing of the butterfly, they have those top wings and then they have the bottom wings. So we're going to make a couple sets of wings for ourselves. So you can flap your elbows and flap your knees, or you can keep your elbows still and just flap your knees, or you can bring your hands to your feet and flap your knees. And just keep it going. Where's your butterfly flying off to today?
California.
California. Who are you visiting in California? My butterfly is flying to Florida today. Going to the Florida Sunshine to visit Grandpa Mike and Grandma Beth and Aunt Emily and all your cousins and Christine and Robert and Alex and Josh. Oh, that feels really good. That's a really nice hip opener. So here's our butterfly pose. This is our second bug pose. I don't even want to leave this pose. I'm so happy here. All right, let's see what our next pose is. Our next pose is, we've already done this one, bee pose. So we're going to add a bee breath to a bee pose. So I want you guys to, I'm going to turn around so you can see it, but I want you to take your feet a little bit wider than your hips and see if you can sink your hips down between your feet. And this is called hero's pose. So if you can't sink your hips down between your feet, you can tuck a little pillow or a yoga block in between your feet and sit up tall, or maybe you just sit back on your heels, just like that. So you find whatever kneeling pose works for you today. And we're going to make bee wings by bringing our hands right to our back pockets. So imagine that you have little back pockets in whatever pants you're wearing. You might be wearing pajamas. I've been living in sweatpants and yoga pants. So sit up nice and tall and start to draw your elbows together and apart, nice and slow, just like you're flapping little bee wings back there. And we're taking a few breaths and doing some bee breath again. So let's do 3 bee breaths. Take a breath in. Take another breath in. Long spine. One more time, big breath in. And relax your arms, roll your shoulders out a few times. Give me a few shrugs like a what? I don't know. What? Did you do your chores? I don't know. Did you do your homework? I don't know. Give me a few. You know how to do that. Give me a few of those, right? I know you know how to do that. All right. So our next pose is called Friendship Flower. And we have this lovely garden of flowers. I think Aiden did that one, didn't he? Yeah, Aiden. My 18-year-old colored that today. Inside the lines, right? All right, so Friendship Flower looks like this. We're going to come down. Do you have a little cramp in your toe or something? Come down into a child's pose. And for this child's pose, we're bringing the knees and the big toes together. So you're going to bring your forehead down to the floor. You're curling up into a teeny tiny seedling. Do you have a cramp? Curl up into a teeny tiny seedling, and we're gonna blossom that flower all the way up, coming up onto our knees. If you're ready, take a breath in and a breath out, settling into the floor. And as you inhale, start to curl the stem of your flower up and blossom your flower all the way up. Lift your heart. And the sun is going down, so we're curling that teeny tiny stem right back down to the floor. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach your heart all the way up. And exhale, bring your heart all the way back down. Do that 1 more time. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, come on back down. And curl yourself up to sit. The last pose in our journey, literally our spring journey today, we're going to take is bicycle pose. So we're all going to come down onto our backs, and we're going to bicycle the arms and the legs and get some energy out before we come down to a resting pose. So we're going to turn this way, coming all the way down onto your back. Flip yourself around. And start to bicycle your legs like you're riding a bicycle. So whether you have training wheels on your bicycle, or you have a tricycle or a 2-wheeler, just start moving your arms and your legs a little bit. And you can go fast. You can pedal your bicycle backwards, bring your bike backwards. Oh, I can't do both. I'm trying to do arms backward, legs forward.
Ow.
And then go backwards. Did you hit the table?
No, my ankles hurt.
You're old, woman. You need to do more yoga. And then rest here. Flex your feet up to the sky. Point and flex your toes. I've got my bunny socks on today for spring. And then circle your toes in the air. And circle your toes in the other direction. Bend your knees. You can lengthen your legs long. Or you can come into butterfly pose in your legs. Or you can just bend your knees and put your hands on your belly and pay attention to your breath. Okay. You ready? Is you ready to settle now?
Yeah.
All right. So taking a few breaths in and out here. Let's close the eyes. And let's count out 5 breaths together. So inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. There's 2. Inhale. And exhale. There's 3. Inhale. And exhale. 4. Inhale. And exhale. 5. Little yogis, you can stay here as long as you like, or you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes and come on up to sit. You can hug those knees in and either rock to one side or rock and roll yourself all the way up until you sit down. So coming all the way up. And we'll turn to face the camera. So today we went through our spring journey. We started with our breath with the Hoberman sphere, the calming breath. We then did Brahmari or bee breath. We moved on to our spring journey. So we had sun breath. We had our tree pose. We had bird pose, and you can do that with a partner supporting. We had our rain cloud and raindrops in our forward fold. We had our gate pose where we made big rainbows with the arms to the left and to the right. What was it? I think seed pose. Was there a seed pose next? Then we planted our garden and we came into tiptoes and planted the seeds, and then we sprouted the seeds up to the sky. We did our caterpillar pose from the belly where we did a little wiggle and a little floating, and our butterfly pose with the soles of the feet together and knees apart. Then we came back into a kneeling pose where our booty was right between our feet, or we were sitting up on a pillow or a block, and we did a little bit more bee breath. And then we came into our friendship flower pose, curling into child's pose and opening our hearts and our faces to the sky. A little bicycle to wake up the whole body, wake up our core, and a little constructive rest in Shavasana. It was a great spring practice. And again, if you'd like to have the practice and have the coloring pages to do at home, email me at namasteyogaohio@gmail.com. We were so happy to share this practice with you today. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a nice break for us in the afternoon. On Thursday at 2 o'clock, we're going to do a rainforest practice. So we'll bring in some rainforest animals and maybe a few other surprises. So join us at 2 o'clock on Thursday, live stream. And these are housed on Facebook. They're also housed on our website, if you have Facebook, at namasteyogastudio.net. You can still access those at any time. We also have a lot of fun practices that aren't on Facebook on our YouTube page at Namaste Yoga Ohio. If you look up Namaste Yoga Studio Northfield, you can find us on YouTube. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful Taco Tuesday. We're having tacos tonight, right?
Yeah.
Have a beautiful Tuesday. Namaste. Mwah.